Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. This is Ashwin Ramani, your research analyst at SBI Securities. I hope I'm audible and I hope you all are able to see my screen. If you all can give me a heads up in the chat box. अगर मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है, स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रहा है तो आप मुझे एक बार चैट बॉक्स में कमेंट करके बता सकते हो so that I know you all are with me live in the session. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes because I see that people are joining in, and then we should be good to go with today's session. Sachin ji, hello, good afternoon. Rakesh ji, namaste. Aapko bhi good afternoon to you as well. So I hope you all had a great weekend. Sandeep ji, good afternoon. Ganesh ji, hi sir, audible. Shushmita ma'am, hello, good afternoon to you as well. Great, superb. Uh, so let us start off with the mid-market session today. But before that, a quick disclaimer. So again, I think we've been discussing that since last quite a few sessions. So beware of the impersonation scams, guys. Because there are a lot of fake individuals, WhatsApp groups, and websites that are misusing SBI Securities brand name. So there have been instances where people have been sending messages saying, SBI is providing a tip service, and return they charge for some money, and they offer some guaranteed return. So don't fall for those scams. Those are definitely not coming from SBI Securities. And only look for official communication from the verified handle of SBI Securities, and don't trust any other sources. And in case if you come across any of such impersonation scams or someone disguising in the name of SBI Securities, please contact our official help desk number, which is at 68545555, and we'll take action on that soon. Okay. Now let us start off with the update. Okay, just a second. Okay. So I guess let me start off with an update on the global markets first. So let me open up my global markets here. So if we look at what has happened in the US the US markets on Friday, so Dow Jones closed around 1% higher. S&P 500 closed around nearly about 1%, and even the Nasdaq closed with a gain of 0.88%. So post the profit booking that we saw in the US markets in the last couple of sessions, the Friday session was relatively better for the US markets. If we look at Dow futures at this point, so Dow futures is down 0.2%. So it's indicating a relatively flat or a positive start, mild positive start to the US markets today. अगर हम यूरोप मार्केट्स की बात करें, सो जर्मनी वाज डाउन 0.8%, लंदन भी माइल्डली पॉजिटिव था 0.13%, and France was almost flat. It just rose around 2 points, not even 2 points, 1.59 points, with a modest gain of 0.02%. Eurostox index again was up 0.27%. So barring Germany, the other European markets relatively closed in green. अगर हम एशियन मार्केट्स की बात करें, सो टुडे निकाय जापानीज मार्केट इज क्लोज्ड, so that was down around 2.4% on Friday. But if we see the other Asian markets, Hang Seng is up around 1.79%. Shanghai, it's almost flat, 0.05% higher. Kospi again is down 0.19%. Our markets also, if you see, relatively सुबह के सेशन से हम flat ही रहे. There is no directional movement in the index today. So Nifty is up 11 points, Sensex is up 40 points. So clearly it indicates that kuch momentum hi nahi hai aaj ke session mein. And if you look at what has happened in the last 1 month, we can see Nifty has gained around 0.57%. So tomorrow we have the monthly expiry. That is the last Tuesday of November. So we'll also have the rollover data coming in tomorrow evening. But relatively last 1 month has been good for Nifty. We are still near the all-time highs, but we are yet to cross the all-time high. Nifty is up around 0.56%, whereas if you see almost all the other global markets, the last 1 month has not been that great. Nikkei is down 0.79, Dow Jones around 1%, Hang Seng 1.5, S&P is down 2%, Eurostox index down 2.33%, Nasdaq down 3.42%. So last 1 month, definitely it's not been good for the US markets. There is definitely some profit booking seen there. Also, if you look at the other Asian markets, they've been down in the range of 1 to 2%, whereas Nifty relatively had a good month. But again, we've been like consolidating around that 2650, 100 mark now. But overall, a good positive in the last 1 month or so. Now, if we look at the macro indicators, so let us see the macro indicators here. Now, if we see the macro indicators, अगर हम dollar index की बात करें, so dollar index has been moving up. That means dollar is getting stronger against the basket of 6 major currencies. So dollar getting stronger means so there is of course demand for dollars. That is the reason why dollar is getting stronger. So dollar is at 100.19. So any move above 100.3 to 100.5, I think that can keep pressure on our markets as well. And the big news that happened post our mid-market session on Friday is rupee breaching past the 89 mark. It hit a high of 89.7. Again, so we've been looking at this. We've been discussing this since quite some time. So if dollar goes above 89, I think that could keep the markets under pressure. And that is what we've been seeing in Nifty. Despite being near the all-time highs, we are not getting that एक strong conviction नहीं है, एक strong directional move की कमी है markets में. Despite being around the all-time highs here, I think one of the major reasons why dollar broke past the 89 mark is usually whenever to support rupee, the RBI usually intervenes. So RBI, see, why does dollar go up? Because there is a demand for dollar. Secondly, if there is a demand for rupee, rupee will go up. Now, what is happening is one is there is a potential delay in this India-US trade deal. We've been all waiting for that trade deal and हमें ऐसा लगता है कि अब आएगा, but there is definitely a delay. तो delay के वजह से क्या होता है? There is a trade deficit between India and US. So obviously, since we import, there is demand for dollars, but the export has relatively been subdued. So more imports than exports, again, that creates, pressure. That is one of the reasons why dollar ka demand hoga. That is the reason why dollar broke past the 89 mark. Secondly, whenever such things happen, the RBI usually intervenes. So usually RBI के reserves में अगर हम देखेंगे, they would hold some dollars. And जब भी उनको लगता है कि अब डॉलर बढ़ने वाला है, they would also sell dollars so that the rupee is stabilized. So whenever these things happen, the RBI usually intervenes. So on Friday, RBI didn't intervene, and because of that, we saw dollar moving past the 89.7 mark. अगर वो डॉलर्स बेचती भी है तो अपना रिजर्व्स भी कम हो जाता है, so that could also have some impact. But again, I think we have seen now, we could see dollar kind of depreciating a bit. Post hitting the high of 89.7, it has come to 89.19, but we are still above the 89 mark. And as long as dollar stays up, we can't expect the FIIs to come back. But even without the FIIs, our markets are relatively doing well. If we look at the US government bonds 10-year yields, it at 4.05%. So market has kind of factored in that the Fed might not go for a rate cut in the December meeting. See, inflation still persists in the US market. So, and also the commentary was not very positive the last time. I think that is the reason, one of the reasons why the yield is almost at around 4.05% at this point. But there is also one important thing. So I don't know how many of you all have been reading up the news in Japan. So Japan bond yields have also gone up. It's at around 1.7%. Usually जापान में near about 0% interest rates हुआ करता था काफी टाइम के लिए. तो usually क्या करते थे, people would borrow from Japan at almost near about 0%, and they would invest in probably US, India, or any other emerging markets where the returns are kind of higher, let's say 5%, 6%. So you can literally borrow at zero, gain around 5% here, convert it back to the original currency, and again repay in yen terms. But abhi kya ho raha hai? The yields have started going up, so the borrowing costs also gets higher. And when the yields goes up, obviously people would prefer investing in a safer asset. So people would start liquidating all their positions. अगर हमने markets में किया है, bonds में किया है, they would start liquidating their positions in the US markets, Indian markets, or any other emerging markets, and they would again put back money in Japan. So there is again a demand for yen. So yen also starts appreciating against dollar or against the rupee as well. So अगर yen बढ़ता है, तो अगर जो borrow किया है, जो invest किया है, so if let's say you have borrowed from Japan and you would have invested in US, so ideally you want the US to gain the dollar to gain strength, but if yen gains strength, you also lose money on your investments there. So आपने एक सुना होगा एक term carry trade, yen carry trade आपने सुना होगा. Now I think since they start offloading their position, so now there is an unwinding of this yen carry trade. That is also causing people to take out money from US markets or even Indian markets or any other emerging markets and probably move the money back to Japan. And with the Japan, there was a regime change recently, and there is a huge economic stimulus that has been announced in Japan that can also create inflation going forward. So I think that is one of the thing that is also panning out. So it's not that our focus should always be on the US markets and other emerging markets. So there is an interesting thing that is developing in Japan. Japanese loans were cheap. I think with the interest rates going up, with the yields going up, I think that has also become costlier now. If we look at India VIX, so India VIX again post the initial drop, it is still above the 200-day mark, which is at around 12.85. So if it moves above 13.914, again that could lead to volatility picking up, and that could again give some discomfort to the bulls. If we look at crude oil, so crude oil prices are down. It's at around $62 a barrel. The support for crude oil is around $60. But on the upside, as long as 65, 66 is not breached, the crude oil prices are expected to remain down. Secondly, if we look at gold, so gold again has been consolidating in the last 5-6 trading sessions. So around $4,000 एक strong support है gold के लिए. But अगर ये 4,120, $4,030 an ounce के ऊपर जाता है, तो थोड़ा और pullback हमें देखने को मिल सकता है gold में. If we look at silver, so silver again has been consolidating in the last 4-5 trading sessions. See on the downside around $48, $49 an ounce is a strong support for silver. Any move above 52, $54 an ounce is a major resistance for silver. Any move above 52, 54 can lead to pullback move in silver as well. And now, if we look at the FII positioning, so what is happening on the FIIs front is that on Friday, again, FIIs were net sellers. They sold around 1,766 crores in the cash market. And there was a drop in the long short ratio as well from minus 1,65,000 contracts. There was a buildup of short positions on Friday. We could see probably in the second half, there was a fall that took place in our markets. That has also got to do with the fact that there was a jump in the dollar as well, which moved to 89.7. So usually whenever, dollar appreciates against the rupee, usually you will see FIIs kind of, liquidating their positions, or probably if they feel that dollar is going to strengthen, they might have built some short positions. Because of which the long short ratio from 12.36 has come down to 11.57% now. That is largely got to do with the fact that there was some short positions that were built up in the Friday session. So as long as dollar remains elevated, as long as it stays above the 89 mark or even above 88.5, 88, 89, definitely no chance for the FIS to come back. Because अब हमारे markets में अगर वो invest करेंगे और dollar strengthen हो रहा है, and rupee strengthen नहीं हो रहा है, तो they are going to lose their investment value here. So they are probably better off not investing in Indian markets, as long as the rupee is not under control. Now, if we look at what is happening in Nifty, so let me first open Nifty's chart. अगर मैं निफ्टी की बात करूं, सो टुडे अगर मैं 5 minutes चार्ट देखूं सबसे पहले, so we started off on a slightly positive note, but then relatively our movement has been sideways. Nifty has been unable to move past the 26,140, 26,150 mark. Probably I feel for Nifty to move up higher, it needs to give a breakout above this downward sloping trend line. Maybe we need a breakout about 26,140, 26,150 for the price to move up higher. On the downside, there is a strong support at around 26,055, 26,050. There have been multiple cases where Nifty has taken support around the 26,050 mark, और वहां से एक bounce आया, फिर एक 26,050 से bounce आया. Right now, again, it has given a mild bounce from 26,050. So as long as 26,050 is respected, chances are that Nifty can be sideways to up. But if we go below 2650, then I feel Nifty can quickly come down to around 26,000 levels on an intraday basis. But on a daily chart, if we see, it's very important that we close about 26,100, because if you remember, this 26,100 was a strong resistance for Nifty. And we broke below that 26,100 on Friday. We closed at 26,068. Right now we are at 26,084. So I think Nifty has given a retest, but it's very important for Nifty to sustain above the 26,100 mark and give a strong close above that. I think that can lead to, again, Nifty moving higher towards 26,250, 26,300 levels. Now, if we talk about Sensex, so let me open up Sensex chart. So Sensex has been pretty much similar to what we've been seeing in Nifty. So again, it's a downward sloping trend line. I feel as long as 85,400, 85,450 is not taken out on the upside, chances of an up move is ruled out. So we can see that the prices are kind of contracting. It is not able to move past the previous high. So second high is lower than the first, third high lower than the second, fourth high lower than the third. So as long as 85,400, 85,450 is not taken out, chances of an up move is ruled out. On the downside, around 85,200 is a strong support for Sensex. Again, it has taken multiple supports from this 85,200 level. But if we go below 85,200, then I think we can see 85,100, 85,000 in the short term. So 85,200, a strong support for Sensex, while on the upside, we need a move above 85,400, 85,450 for Sensex to move higher. Now, if we look at Bank Nifty, so Bank Nifty has been relatively outperforming Nifty today. At one hand, where Nifty is almost consolidating, we could see that Bank Nifty has edged up higher. Nifty relatively flat है सुबह के सेशन से. But अगर हम Bank Nifty देखें, so Bank Nifty, there was some initial weakness. But then Bank Nifty quickly recovered, and there was a major resistance at around 59,120, 59,130 mark. And it kind of gave a breakout above that level. So there is more of आप देख सकते हो एक double bottom kind of pattern नजर आ रहा है 5 minutes chart पे, where there was a support around that 58,850 mark, and there was a neckline around 59,130. And Bank Nifty broke above that. So I feel the initial this resistance can now act as a support. So around 59,130, 59,140. That zone is likely to act as a strong support for Bank Nifty. And as long as this level holds, chances are that Bank Nifty can move higher. But if we get a break below 59,130, then again, chances are that, we can probably on the downside, we can test 58,850, 58,900 on the downside here. So this is the level to watch out, but relatively, Bank Nifty is doing well. Now, if we talk about these heat maps, so let me open up the heat map here. So I'll go to Nifty 50 first. So अगर मैं Nifty 50 की बात करूँ, today good support from a top heavyweight, which is HDFC Bank, that is up around 1%. Infi is also up around 1.2%. ICICI Bank is flat today. Good support from the other private banks. So you can see Kotak and Axis both are up in the range of 0.6 to 0.7%. IT again is doing well. So it looks like there is some momentum that is building up in the IT index. काफी टाइम से हमने आईटी में देखा है कि ये एक लोअर लेवल से बाउंस बैक आता है बट वो सस्टेन नहीं कर पाता है. But this time, it feels like there is some momentum building up. TCS is up 0.35%, Infi, HCL both up in the range of 1%. Tech Mahindra is doing well. It's up around 3%. Wipro is up around 1.4%. And usually a higher dollar also is a good sign for IT because, and this time why IT is moving up is because एक उम्मीद है कि एक इंडिया यूएस के बीच में एक पॉजिटिव डील होगा. Or an IT, when they start exporting their services to US, that is where their major market is. And a higher dollar is always good because that leads to higher revenue in dollar terms for the IT companies. So usually आप देखोगे pharma, IT companies, IT sector, these are a couple of sectors that usually performs well, especially when the dollar appreciates against the rupee. लास्ट टाइम थोड़ा डील होने वाला है नहीं होने वाला है इसके लिए शायद आईटी ने रिबाउंड किया था बट फॉलो थ्रू नहीं मिला था. इस टाइम उम्मीद है कि इंडिया यूएस के बीच में एक पॉजिटिव डील होगा. And with the dollar also inching up higher, IT is the only index that is trading in green, and that is kind of supporting or holding up Nifty, you can say. Oil and gas is relatively down today. So Reliance is down 0.5%. Coal India is down 1.3%. So no support from the auto counters. Bajaj is up 1.4%. Eicher Motors 1.75%. But Mahindra is down 1.27%. Even the metal index continues its profit booking. Tata Steel is down. JSW Steel 2% down. Ultra Cement down 0.53%. Bharti Airtel is flat today. Power Grid and NTPC both are down. BL again it's down around 2%. So BL and HAL, HAL I think it's more of sentiment driven news. आपने सुना ही होगा Friday को our indigenous made Tejas fighter jet it crashed in the Dubai Air Show. So now I think लोगों के मन में एक डाउट आ गया है कि क्या इंडियन मेड एयरक्राफ्ट का क्या फ्यूचर है. आई थिंक उसके वजह से शायद आज HAL में और सारे डिफेंस पैक में आज प्रॉफिट बुकिंग नजर आई है. But I think should not be looked too much into this. I think it's more of sentiment driven fall rather than कुछ fundamentally change नहीं हुआ है whether it's HAL or BL. It's just that people are kind of usually वो कभी ऐसे बड़ा इवेंट हो जाता है थोड़ा सा एक शॉक रह जाता है and people are kind of worried about as to अभी क्या होगा, what's next with the fact that now the fighter jet has crashed. So I don't think we should be reading too much into the fundamentals now. I think the fundamentals are intact for defense companies, and I'm sure as a country I think we will definitely bounce from this setback here. If you look at the other counters, Asian Paints is up around 0.29% at the current juncture. So relatively, again, it's the IT pack that is holding up Nifty today. Now, if we talk about the key sectors to watch and the key stocks that are in focus, one is, like I said, it's Nifty IT. So अगर हम IT by Nifty का ratio chart देखें, so we have gotten a downward sloping trendline breakout on the ratio chart itself after quite some time. So couple of counters. One is Infosys. So Infosys has kind of mimicking the Nifty IT index movement. It has given a downward sloping trendline breakout and trades near about its 200-day EMA. So the support for Infosys is around very close, around 1,550. As long as Infosys holds around 1,550, the trend is likely to remain positive. If it goes about 200 EMA, high chances are that it can move towards 1615, 1620 levels in the short term, with around 1550 acting as a strong support for the stock. The other stock again is Techem. That's the top gainer for the Nifty today. So you can see from almost 13th of November, it was consolidating in a range with around 1465 acting as a resistance, with around 1420 acting as a support. We could also see volumes picking up in Tech Mahindra, and there is a strong breakout in Tech Mahindra as well. So again, if it manages to hold above 1465, 1470, that is the key support for Tech Mahindra. And on the upside, if it continues, if it gives a follow through move above its 200-day EMA, I think there is a small gap that needs to be filled here until 1550. So I think we can expect another 45-50 points movement on the upside in Tech Mahindra as well. Apart from that, Escorts is one stock that you can keep in a radar. So Escorts for a long time, let's say since 10th of November, has been consolidating in a range. On the downside, 3,535 is acting as a strong support for Escorts, while on the upside, 3,670 is a resistance. Today, it looked like it might break past this resistance and close higher, but nevertheless, कुछ buying आता है second half में, or even by tomorrow, if it gives a strong close about 3,670, 3,675, then chances are that even Escorts can move up higher in the coming sessions. With around 3,535 as a strong support for Escorts. Apart from that, even Eicher Motors looks good on the daily chart. We discussed this on Friday as well. So Eicher Motors has given a downward sloping trendline breakout, and there is a strong follow through move in the stock today. So I think the support is around 7,090, 7,100. That's where the support for Eicher Motors is placed. And I think any follow through move can take the stock towards 7,400, 7,450 levels in the short term. You can see that RSI is also in a rising mode, and MACD line has given a crossover above the signal line, and it is above the zero line as well. So all in all, positive for Eicher Motors. Apart from that, one another stock is Sansera Engineering. If we look at Sansera Engineering, it's steadily moving up with this 20-day EMA acting as a dynamic support for the stock. So around 1580, 1575 is a strong support. I think any move above 1630, 1635 can lead to stock moving up higher. RSI post taking support at 60, it has in a rising mode, and MACD line is above the signal line as well. So need a breakout, need a follow through, I would say, above 1630, 1635 with around 1580, 1575 acting as a support for Sansera Engineering. Apart from that, one another stock that can likely do well is GPPL, that is Gujarat Pipavav Port Limited. So again, it looked like we might be heading for a breakout in GPPL today, but it took resistance around the 183 mark. Last time also it went to 183, and then there was some profit booking. Again, it has tested that 183 levels again today, and the stock is in a nice uptrend. It's moving in a higher high, higher low formation. So any move above 183.5, 184 can lead to stock moving up higher with around 175, 170. That is the support zone for this particular stock. The next stock that I want to discuss today is Ethos Limited. अगर हम Ethos Limited की बात करें, so Ethos again also was consolidating in a range. 2935 on the upside, while 2815 on the downside. So this is the range in which the stock was consolidating in, and looks like we might get a breakout. So if we get a breakout about 2925, 2930, chances are that we can move towards 2990. While on the downside, 2815 is likely to act as a strong support for Ethos Limited. And the last stock that I want to discuss today, that is one stock from the capital market space, that is 361 WAM. So 361 again post taking strong support from its 200-day EMA. It has moved up steadily. Last 3 days again it's kind of gone into consolidation mode, but any follow through move above 1160 can lead to 361 moving towards 1200 levels with around 1125 acting as a strong support for the stock. So these are the sectors, these are the stocks that you can keep in your radar. And the last thing that I want to show is, so we'll also do something like just like how we do the global comparison, we can also do something similar for the sectors as well, so that we'll know which sectors are moving, which sectors aren't moving. So अगर हम last 1 month देखें, the PSU banks in the last 1 month is up around 6.7%. So PSU banks have been moving well. Followed by oil and gas, which is up around 4%, largely got to do with the fact that Reliance and was doing well in this period. IT stocks again are seeing some traction. So IT is also, it's up around 3%. So PSU banks, oil and gas, IT, these are some strong sectors currently. But if we see which are the sectors that are underperforming, so Nifty defense, I think that is largely got to do with the fall that we are seeing in the defense space today. So defense is down around 3%. Realty is also one sector that is kind of underperforming. That is down around 5% here. Metal stocks are also down around 3%, followed by tourism, which is down 1.6%. So realty, defense, metal, CPSE, these are the sectors that are underperforming. While PSU Bank, oil and gas, and IT, these are the sectors that are currently leading the sectoral strength. So that was about today's mid-market session. I hope it was informative. And now let us start off with our question and answer session. If you have any queries, any doubts, do let me know in the chat box and I'll be happy to answer them. Harish ji saying, as carry trades reverse, well, global equities. Yeah, because see, if you borrow from Japan, the investment could have been in US, it could have been in India or any other emerging markets. And that money would have gone in either bonds or it would have gone in equities as well. Now, with the Japanese yields going up, with also the yen strengthening, now people will try to close out their positions. They might have to sell off their equity holdings or bond holdings, whether it's in US markets, Indian markets, or any emerging markets, and probably repay back the loan that they have taken in Japanese yen. So yes, not only Indian equities. So usually a large part of the Japanese yen carry trade usually happens between yen and dollars. A lot of that money is parked in US treasuries as well. So almost US treasuries में काफी holdings है, US stocks में भी है. So I think there can be US treasuries also will see some unwinding. And that is the reason why we could see that even the US market saw some profit booking. Our markets are relatively not, ज़्यादा impact नहीं होगा. Obviously, there will be some exposure, but not as much as it is in US or the other markets here. So India is relatively not, it won't be largely impacted, but I think India has its own set of problems. With dollar strengthening, we can't expect the FII's flows coming to our markets, currently. ठीक है, गणेश जी सिंह स्टक इन निफ्टी. गणेश जी क्या करे निफ्टी में, which is that position you have taken 26,150 relatively flat है. आज के दिन में पैसा बनाना थोड़ा मुश्किल ही है. 26,050 की बात करें, आई वुड से 85 का एसएल रख के आप होल्ड करना. अगर 85 के नीचे जाता है, इट्स बेटर टू एग्जिट गणेश जी. एल्स आपका टाइम वैल्यू विल स्टार्ट किकिंग इन फ्रॉम सेकंड हाफ ऑनवर्ड्स. So it's better to exit if the market is not moving in your favor today. Don't you think buying at a lower price? Yeah, see, fundamentally, like I said, nothing much has changed in HAL. तो अगर मैं HAL की बात करूँ, it's just that it's a sentiment-driven fall. I think, and its major support is around 4,325, another support at 4,400. So most likely it should hold on. And I think buying should probably coming in HAL. I think these are the news, especially when such news happen. Provided if the company is fundamentally sound, I think these falls should definitely be used as a good opportunity to enter into. How do you compare sectors? So I think you can just create a new watch list. And यहाँ पे you can add a sector, and यहाँ पे you can see compare or add symbol. So you just keep clicking on that plus sign and keep adding the sectors. So that's how you can compare sectors, and you can do a global comparison as well. You can global indices भी हम compare कर सकते हैं, और यहाँ पे एक sector select करके just keep on clicking this plus sign, तो आपको relative comparison दिख जाएगा. Would Japan rate increase have impact on long-term debt funds? So see, ideally, like I said, majority India won't be impacted utna, but I think as much as you could see that impact in US. Luckily, our fundamentals are strong. Our GDP growth is probably, I think I'm expecting Q2, we'll be hitting over about 7%. Our inflation is under control. And, I think that is the silver lining for us. And the fact that RBI will go for a rate cut. So even if our yields go up, chances are that with the rate cuts, I think that will kind of offset the move here. So I don't think our long-term debt funds will have an impact, because see, Japan is, again, if you look at Japan and India, Japan has been struggling. They have been trying hard to revive their economy, and that is why the economic package in their country right now. And plus, they are going through a regime change as well. So the new lady that has come in, she is going to unveil a huge economic stimulus. I think whenever that happens, usually the yields go up, and obviously when the yields go up, people prefer safer assets. So anyone who has borrowed in Japan, and people have been doing this carry trade, people have been borrowing from Japan at near about 0% interest rates. And probably even if you invest in, let's say, our country, wherein the interest rates are around 6-7%, so that was the profit difference, right? So you are literally borrowing at zero. You invest in India for a year, you make around 6%, you convert it back, and then you again repay in Japan. So you are literally making around 4.5% in US, 6% in India. But now with the yields going up, you can't borrow at 0%. Now the yields are at around 1.7%. And with the Japanese yields remaining at 0%, so the yen was always weaker against the rupee as well as dollar. So the yen would never appreciate against the dollar. But now with the yields going up, the carry trade, again, the profit difference can kind of shrink in. And with the yields going up, even the yen is strengthening against the dollar. So मान लो जो पैसा अभी US markets में है, and if the dollar is weakening against the yen, so they are losing value on their investments also. So एक तो आपका profit difference कम हो रहा है on account of this carry trade. Secondly, because of the yen strengthening against the dollar, that is also shrinking your profits here, and that is the reason why a lot of unwinding is happening now. And I think people have been looking at the Japanese markets now. I think people are wondering, okay, if I'm getting 1.7, 1.8% safe returns, why would I want to park my money in equities when I can get some safe returns in the Japanese markets here? So that is the reason why there is a fall in US markets or Indian markets. I think a lot of that is got to do with the fact that there is offloading of positions here. So Rakesh, yeah, Japan is single largest foreign holder of USD. Absolutely. So US treasuries. So if something happens in the US markets, I think if they sneeze, it's our markets that will catch cold here. So imagine in that case, they start liquidating, it would trigger yes, of course. So that would have an impact on the US markets. And if something happens to US markets again, that will impact our markets as well. So it is a chain reaction. Of course, it's a chain reaction. No doubt about that. Fed rate cut in December, chances low, definitely. And dollar spike, how to trade gold bees. See, gold bees, I think Ramonji likes trading in gold bees here. See, gold bees again, maybe I think people are also looking at dollar as a strategic asset now. Up tak, there was a euphoria that was going against gold, which led to the rally in gold here. I think now people have started accumulating dollars as well. That is the reason why you could see dollar index also moving above 100, and dollar is also strengthening against the rupee here. And dollar going up means there is a demand for dollars now. एक point में gold में था, now gold is seeing profit booking since Dhanteras. And now I feel people are kind of accumulating dollars now. See, gold again, I feel as long as 108.5 is not taken out on the upside, the trend is likely to be sideways. But if we move past, let's say, the 98.5, 98 mark, I think then we can expect gold bees to go down. So those are the levels on the chart here. Ankit ji, good to see you daily live. Yes, Ankit ji, I think we have done around 110, 115 daily mid-market sessions until now. So good to see you here again. Shushmita ma'am is asking for Bharat Forge. If we look at Bharat Forge, so Bharat Forge again, you can continue to hold. I think 1375 is what you can consider as an SL. The overall trend is positive. So 1375 का SL लगा के आप इसको hold कर सकते हो. I think Indus Tower is also good. Let me look at Indus Tower. See if Japan starts liquidating the US treasuries, if they start selling, uh, again the yields will start rising in the US bonds as well. So if US bonds yields, 10-year bond starts to rise, and then high chances are that the equity markets can see a sell-off. And that would also lead to the fact that foreign investors, post preferring Japanese bonds, they will start preferring US bonds there. So they might even start offloading their positions in Indian markets and might go to US because they are finding attractive returns in the US markets here. So any move above 4.5, 4.3, that is only going to make US bonds attractive. We'll have to see how this pans out, because nobody expected Japanese yields to go above 1.5, 1.8%. So we'll have to see. I think it's very difficult for Japan to manage now. I don't know how they are going to manage. We'll have to see and monitor their economic decisions wisely. Uh, See, Japanese again, no growth. I think that growth has been stagnant. I think this economic stimulus is done to revive the growth. And if they spend so much, I think a couple of years down the line, they are going to face inflation. And to control inflation, they have to raise the rates. And to raise the rates, again, the yields, they'll have to keep the yields at the elevated levels. And one more thing is, all these years, Japanese government, they were uh, doing something which is called as YCC, that is yield curve control. So they were trying to keep the yields under control, and now they have stopped. वो जो एक tightening policy था, थोड़ा सा loose हो गया. I think they have let the yields go up now. So they want people to invest in Japanese bonds here. So they are trying to revive Japanese economy. So we'll have to see how this pans out for the other global markets. So it's better to diversify. So if you probably have a global fund which is probably invested in US, China, maybe other emerging markets, or Hong Kong or South Korea, so it's better diversify your exposure across markets rather than, of course, being an Indian, you should have an exposure to the Indian markets, but it's important to have. So we do diversification across mid caps, small caps, large caps, but it's also important to diversify across countries as well. Maybe have some percentage of your portfolio in US, China, maybe Hong Kong, maybe South Korea, maybe have these countries exposure as well, so that if one country's maybe a growth falls off for one country, at least your portfolio will be protected on the other front. Rakesh ji saying, I would suggest to hold fresh investment until INR appreciates, which would pull down the prices. Yeah, definitely. ITBs is also good at the current levels. So ITBs, again, there is a downward sloping breakout. So I feel around 39.5, 39.66 strong support hai. I think ITBs can move towards 43.5, 44 levels in the short term. IT में ऐसा लग रहा है कि थोड़ा मोमेंटम पिकअप हो रहा है. आई थिंक लार्जली गॉट टू डू द फैक्ट दैट एक उम्मीद है इंडिया यूएस के बीच में डील होगा. Yeah, dollar index above 100 is negative. Dollar against rupee is also negative here. So our rupee is kind of weakening. And dollar index काफी time से it has been in a sideways range. So and अभी वो downward sloping trend line breakout दिया है. Dollar index going up, Japanese bond yields going up, US treasuries liquidate होने से US bonds can also go up. Fed not going for interest rate cuts. Whether deal between India and US will happen, that is also on tenterhooks. Our markets, despite the high, it is driven by only top 6-7 names. Even small cap has not participated. In fact, small cap is underperforming. So if you are wondering, if you are having a lot of small cap stocks in your portfolio and you are looking Nifty at the all-time highs, probably your portfolio is still in red because small cap is underperforming. Mid cap is relatively doing well. But if your portfolio has a lot of small cap stocks, I think your portfolio will still be in red. So small cap is underperforming. It's only the large caps and select large caps that are doing well. It's not, the high doesn't really feel like a high in Nifty currently. So we'll have to wait and watch. And I think a lack of FIIs flows as well. I think for a long time we have not seen FIIs participating in our markets. ऐसे अब लग ही रहा था कि FII शायद हमारे markets में आएंगे, and now they find Japanese markets attractive because they are, getting around 1.7, 1.8% safe returns there. So why would they want to park their money in Indian equities currently? And even if the US yields goes up at around 4.5, 4.8, they would park their money there, because at the end of the day, anyone would prefer safer return over a riskier return at any given point of time. So we'll see that in detail how this pans out. But nevertheless, that was all about today's mid-market session. So I hope it was informative, and there's some value add that you got to know about the Japanese bond yields. Maybe even you can read up about what can happen because of Japanese bond yields, and what can that be for the markets going ahead. So that's all, guys. So I'll meet you again tomorrow at 12:30 on SBI Securities YouTube channel for the mid-market session. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock again, we will be having one more webinar on chart patterns. So we'll be having two webinars tomorrow, one at 12:30 and one at 4 o'clock. Until then, take care, stay safe, guys, and I'll see you soon tomorrow at 12:30. Bye, guys, and take care. See you.